Welcome to the FC Denver 2020 Awards presentation. We're here at the Abbey Tavern in Denver. Follow us in. This video showcases the Clubwide events and awards given for this year. We're going to have 4 upcoming individual team awards that will be rolled out in the next few days. Let's get started with the Clubwide awards and recognition. Let's start with the state of the club. The club is engaged. This year we've had around 100 players compete on our soccer teams, which is down from usually around 130, 140, but 100 players competing during this time is fairly significant. Of those 100 players, we didn't have any known cases of COVID spread through the club at any of our events, so we're going to consider that a success. Of those 100 players, about 75% of them filled out the club end of the year awards, so they were engaged, they were involved right to the end of the year in voting on the ballot on the awards. Our men expanded their weekly trainings from 1 training a week to 2 trainings a week. We think that was a big step forward in the professionalism of the team, and many of our teams will likely be following with that. We were competitively very strong. 22 wins, 6 ties, 6 losses throughout our entire 4 teams for the season. So we have 1 team that's an assumed champion, our under 23s. They may have 1 game left, they may or may not play, but right now we're going to call them champions. 2 teams that got strong second place finishes, and our women's team has a strong foundation, had a good season, and we're looking to build on that going ahead. And administratively, we've committed to quality coaching with our first ever coaching payment stipends, and committed to hiring, supporting, and retaining quality coaches. Here alongside me is Stephen Latta. Stephen has been a part of our leadership for the last year plus, and over this off season, we've really redefined his role, and his role will be director of coaching moving forward. So we've been grateful for what Stephen's been able to do for us, and he's already been helping the coaches, been involved with all of our teams, and we're really happy to be able to define that role. I'll go ahead and Stephen touch on a little bit about what he saw this year.
Obviously, what I saw this year was a huge commitment through a number of challenges that we've had, be it the COVID scenario or just making sure we get organized in numbers through each roster. So that was something that I really enjoyed. But not only that, but just from a coaching perspective, having those presences on the sideline were a huge improvement this year that I've seen within the past year and a half plus whatever. But just making sure we get things put together in a time where things are pretty uncertain. Not only that, but also being competitive in that nature. So that's something that I thought was really done really well. What I look forward to is just kind of building on that. COVID-free world, we know we're going to have some success, and essentially we have a lot to build on, even with the challenges we face. So.
And then, with the successes we had this season and this year, that wasn't a given. I mean, to be very frank, what it looked like in March and April, beyond actually our soccer club, that was a scary time for us as individuals and us as a world. And but as a soccer club, as an adult soccer club, we really thrive off momentum. And momentum is a very critical thing for me personally, as a president of a club, for our leaders and coaches, the desire to get out there, the desire of our players, and then that momentum and the work that, especially on our men's first team, that had been put in with player interviews and with off-season regimens, all that got kind of mixed right there in March. And with that, we didn't know what the future looked like. We didn't know what the future of the club looked like. We put in about 15 years of work on this, and we just didn't have any idea what that might look like going forward. So, but we responded. We responded as a leadership group, and we responded as a club. Not only the success that I've already alluded to, but we raised over $2,000 as a club for the Colorado COVID Relief Funds. So back in the months of March and April, to kind of unify us as a club, to be able to give back to our broader community, we did a fundraising drive and we raised that money. So that's something that we're very proud of as a club. We also played an online FIFA tournament during that time period that we had a lot of fun doing. brought together players from multiple teams. We had a few games live. Those were really fun things during that really kind of scary and uncertain time. So what I've learned as a club president and founder of this, that I've been doing this for a lot of years, and this is obviously the most unique seasons that we've had. What I've learned is that playing this sport and doing it at a high level for us means a lot. And it means a lot more than just the joy of going out there and playing. It's really a part of who our players are. And it's part of me as who I am as a leader and a president of this club. Were there risks of contracting COVID by coming out and playing soccer? Yes, people were assuming some risks in doing that. We tried to take the most significant of any of the competitors that we found, the most significant steps in increasing safety and doing it at the right time to get out there playing. But yes, you assume some risk by returning to play. But players, the importance of the personal challenge, group camaraderie, and playing the game that they love, for many of our players, really proved to be the most critical factor. We had players that didn't return to play, and we're hoping they return when the time's right for them, and don't judge anybody for any of the decisions that they're making during this time. But we've really found out, for me and for the players, the love and the doing this, the ability to get out there and play at the highest level and challenge ourselves really means a lot. And with that, no matter what our results were, I think our ability, that we were able to play this year, play this fall season, I count this as a major success. The joy that we had from playing, the joy, the camaraderie that we had for being around our teammates, I could see it amongst any of our teams. And really, the results meant less this season than they ever did, just because we were just grateful to be able to be playing. With that, before we get to our awards, have one major announcement to be making that we're really excited about. Earlier this year, Nick Wilson, our club vice president and legendary Masters player coach, moved away for a job opportunity from Denver. He led the Masters to a lot of success and was a great sounding board for me as a leader. But with him moving away, we've had a vice president vacancy. And today, I'm excited to announce that Carol Bird Gomez has accepted my offer to become our vice president. Carol has been a relentless advocate for our women's program and has been consistently looking for ways to get involved with the club affairs, to be able to better the club and to be able to grow herself as well. In this critical time in our club's history when many opportunities and challenges await, I'm thrilled to be working alongside a trusted, committed, and hungry advocate for our club. Carol was not able to join us today, but she wanted to speak a few words on assuming this new role.
FC Denver, my heart is bursting with joy as I take on this new position as the club's vice president. Thank you to Eric Fulton, our fearless leader, for trusting me with this new role. I look forward to working with you and the rest of leadership as we move forward. A big thank you to the women's team. Some time ago, you believed in our vision, and I would not be here today without you. And a special thank you to FC Denver. You have given my passion a home. 2020 was a weird year, but 2021 has great things in store for us. I look forward to the growth that we're about to do together. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you next season.
Now let's move on to the FC Denver 2020 President's Award. Let me invite to help me name the award winner, Stephen Lauder, our club director of coaching. As we mentioned, this award will go to the club leadership member or coach that has gone above and beyond their call of duty. And really, we can name any of our leadership members to do this. There's so much passion, perseverance, time, love that's been put into this from our coaches, leadership members throughout the entire year, through an uncertain spring to a successful fall. But as our first time award winner, it was noticeable to me, it was very clear to me as our president, when I was thinking through this award, who should win it, it was pretty clear who it would be. And without further ado, let me announce the award winner of our first ever President's Award is Peter Bunting. Peter's passion for what we do, the amount of time that he was willing to put in, his clarity of purpose, and how it was, even though as the leader of our men's first team, how it bled into all of our other teams. He helped coach on the sideline of our 23s, went to their trainings. He cared and checked in on our women's team. He was wondering what was going on with our over 30s. I've never, in my 15 years of doing this, have had a partner in the club that's been that passionate about our success and moving the club forward. And alongside with that is professionalism and the amount of structure and detail he added to our men's first group with our trainings this year was a big step forward for us. So congratulations, Peter. We wish you were here. As many know, in the fall, Peter had an amazing job opportunity to move across the country. So while we'll miss Peter in person, we're really grateful for his time we had here. And we're also excited because he's going to continue in an executive leadership role moving forward. Peter has recorded a few words to share on the excitement of being named this inaugural President's Award winner.
What's up, FC Denver? Hey, coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina, from a place of gratitude and feeling very humble at the moment. I was actually had to get through one and do another because I started kind of shedding a tear. So it's an absolute and complete and total honor to be the recipient of this award for the very first of its kind. I hope that it instills a level of passion and inspiration in everyone else to continue to move forward what we've laid as a foundation on top of the incredible one that's already been built with all of the previous members and current members of the club. And I just want everyone to make sure that it means something to wear this. It means something to have this on our chest. And I'm just so thankful for the experience over the last 2 years that I've been able to have. It's reinvigorated my spirit personally. It's reinstilled my love and passion for the game. And it's something that I'll always look back upon with a smile and a warm heart. So thanks again for nominating me, and I will wear it proudly and display it anywhere I go. So here's to you, FC Denver, and thanks again for the nomination. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
In closing, I'd like to recognize a few fine members here with me of our club that really make a significant contribution to what we're doing behind the scenes. First, I'd like to recognize Bob Boyle. Bob Boyle and I have a weekly standing call where we discuss vision, purpose, executive level functions for this club, what we're doing, where we want to go. And for me, it's a great grounding influence. It's really great to speak with someone like Bob as a sounding board to figure out where we're at now and where we want to go. So I really appreciate everything that he's done and doing. If we go back to the starting of our relationship with this club, Bob reached out to me and was really the driver behind creating our inaugural FC Denver U19 team that has now transformed into our U23 team, and is really what we see now as one of our standing pillars of our club foundation is our developmental alternative model. And we really want to develop young players and continue their development throughout their course of history within our club or on to other competitive opportunities. So Bob was the reason why that got started. He's been a big part of our club ever since. So I want to recognize Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I've really enjoyed being a part of FC Denver, and it's truly a fraternity now, an extended fraternity sorority, and the fact that you guys have embraced youth development and provided opportunities for high school, college-age kids who are still at the top of their game and want to play more at a high level. I think it's fantastic. So looking forward to working with you going into 21 post-COVID.
Terrific. And next, I'd like to recognize Jordan Villette. Jordan has done it all for our club. He's played for 2 of our teams. He's had 2 administrative roles in a relatively short amount of time. I think Jordan joined just a little over a year ago, something like that. And what I appreciate about Jordan is, he started with our men's second team. This season was on our men's first team, was a starter and one of the most relied on players for that team, and an excellent player on the field. And off the field, he's been a big driver for what we've been trying to create. He's been always reaching out to me. How can I help? How can I put my skill set to work for this club? So he started as our business development director, and then more recently he's transitioned over to our digital media director. So we just appreciate all the work and effort that he's putting in on and off the field for our club. And I know he wanted to say a few words.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Eric, and definitely happy for the opportunity. like I said, moved over to Denver from Michigan about a year ago and instantly felt at home. So really appreciate the opportunity. And yeah, now stepping into the digital media role, we're going to have opportunities here moving forward. Photographers, graphic designers, you name it. Our club is growing, and with that, we want to have a very strong online presence. So we will have opportunities for that. So please reach out if you're interested in supporting the club. Feel free to reach out to myself, to Eric, reach us on our social media channels, and we'll be further communicating that down the road. But definitely excited to build on what we've done so far and have a successful future here.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jordan. And thank you to our entire team that makes this happen.